Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with Angela Hiley and the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. Long time no see, fuckers. Hope everybody's having an amazing day.
That was so good.
We are here to talk about our amazing travels and the reason why we've been gone so long. We have been gone so long.
Yeah, but we also have to say why we haven't went live, remember?
Yeah, I'm so bad about that, you know what I mean? Like that whole Chinese thing. Like I'll go to a Chinese restaurant. Well, I'm just like that in general. Like if some people start talking to me with a little bit of, that they've got like a little bit of a language barrier or something. Like I'll start adapting.
Oh shit, here we go.
To the way they speak, you know? So like by the time I leave the Chinese restaurant, I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Wait a minute, don't you
know
remember?
them motherfuckers talk shit about everybody that walk in the door. You know, they know that nobody speaks their language. So they're over there like probably when I walk in going, wang pang tang. And then they're saying like, look at this stupid fuck.
Don't you remember that one time, it was like a long time ago, we were watching, was it like Japanese wrestling or something like that?
Oh, yeah, Japanese wrestling, yeah.
You swore up and down you knew that what they were talking about.
I could, eventually hear what they were saying.
No, you did not.
It was, like, there was a moment. You ever remember, like, back in the day, there was a movie about that. There was a guy who, I cannot remember. I don't really fucking know actors' names and shit like that. Like,
okay.
I'm not really big on, the Mel Gibson, fucking people like that, you know. But there was a movie a while back, and it was about some guy who traveled off to like this distant land, and he was going to find these like monsters or some shit that was fucking killing all of these people in this one side of the world. Okay. And I want to say that he traveled. He was more of like a skinny dude, and he ended up getting around people that were more along the lines of like Scandinavians. They were real fucking savage and shit. And he's hanging out with all these guys, but they're being attacked.
Did we watch this movie together?
Yeah, we watched this movie together, but they're being attacked by these crazy fucking looking, at first they thought they were monsters, but then later they found out that it was actually human beings that basically took, I think they took like giant bear skins and like covered their whole bodies with them. So when they attacked people, they looked like animals and shit. And then they only came whenever it rained. Like, so they knew when it rained, like these motherfuckers, they were going to be attacked. And they would move in the night.
I don't remember this movie.
And, I specifically remember in that movie that as he's sitting there and he's in what would look like, Scandinavia, like all Vikings.
Do you remember
he's
the
more
name?
from the Middle East. Fuck, I can't remember the name of this movie, but I do.
It sounds
I remember.
So good.
I remember him listening to these folks talk, and he didn't speak their native tongue. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, he would listen and he would listen, but you could tell that he was a wise man who came from a distant land. And eventually, he started hearing what they were saying, and they were talking shit about him. They were like literally talking shit about him. They were like, look at this dumb shit over here. And they were saying things, and then they would laugh, Mm-hmm. And then eventually he started talking back to him, and they're like, oh shit, well, we better stop talking shit about him. That's the way I felt the day that I was watching Chinese.
My God.
Or Japanese
John.
or Chinese wrestling.
No, it wasn't. No, not like that. Well, what's the name of this movie,
It was pretty fucking close to that.
You had me really sucked into
I'm the
that.
worst at remembering shit like that.
I know, but you had me like
names.
so sucked into that story.
Oh, it's an incredible movie.
It
Some of you guys probably are sitting there. Actually, probably a majority of you guys listening are sitting there, and you know which movie I'm talking about.
That doesn't have Tom Cruise in it, does it? That's not the
Hell no. It
No?
ain't got no Tom. You already say this Last Samurai?
But that was a good movie. No, we watched that movie. I just don't remember what it was about.
You know what movie I like Tom Cruise in?
Which one?
Tropical Thunder.
Yes. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, because he done went crazy, and then he came back to that movie.
Yeah.
And then
And
he like
played
redeemed
like a-
himself, but he's still in my book a crazy weird fuck.
He's an actor. That probably, I would say, in that industry, they're probably very,
Eating babies and drinking blood.
not all of them, John. But I just think that I think a lot of them have some type of mental health
The funny
disorder.
thing is, like, probably some tactical dent tech listeners are going, "What did John just say?" But there's like half of you guys out there that are like, "Yeah, that's fucking true."
I
honestly-
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many conspiracy theories out there, guys. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me, though.
We're living in some crazy times right
I
now.
know.
It looks like Hunter Biden. I shared a meme on my wall a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys remember, there was a guy named, it's so funny, Anthony Weiner.
Yeah.
That literally like bombed Hillary Clinton's campaign when she was running against Trump. And he did it by being involved in basically some sex scandals where he was sexting, but he was doing it with like underage girls and shit like that.
Yeah.
And his wife was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager. I think she was her campaign manager.
Who
Right.
knows?
We're not talking about Michelle Obama.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just went there.
But anyhow, I shared a meme on my timeline, and it literally said, Anthony Weiner. Nobody can ruin a campaign as quick as I can. And then down below it said, Hunter Biden, hold my crack pipe.
Oh my. I don't know. Guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
COVID cases are on the rise.
You see, our president, Donald Trump, got that COVID shit. Kicked its ass.
Oh my goodness. So let's see. What should we talk about?
Well, let's talk a little bit about our travels. So we actually, I don't think we've had a podcast since we had the mastermind meeting up in...
Since we've been to
Yeah, since
Texas.
we were at Zion's. No, I don't think we had one since we were at Zion National Park.
Yeah, we did.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I could look it up. If you want to keep talking, I could look it up.
I'm pretty sure we did one.
Yes,
We did, because we talked about when we walked, when we took that hike, and we got to the point when we got there on the top of the mountain or whatever, that lookout.
What?
Yes, we talked about that. We talked
Oh.
about that whole thing. We talked about Utah.
We did, so we have not been gone as long as I think. I'm going to
See?
double check, though, because
I'm right.
I don't know if she's accurate.
Yes, I am accurate.
Oh, we actually did talk about that. That's what I was saying. So
No, you were not
we've
saying
talked
that.
about our
You're
mastermind
so full of shit.
out in Utah.
You're full of shit.
Well, I know
right
I was
now.
saying we talked about our mastermind,
so full of shit
but
right
then
now.
thereafter that, we haven't had a podcast. So that was literally the last one that we had. Is what
I don't
I'm
know
saying.
about that. You're such a turd.
It's been travel for us. So it's been one thing after the next. And then we ended up moving into a new shop location because we didn't want to stay in the same building that we were. We didn't want to like sign a longer lease or anything like that because many of you guys know that we are putting together a plan. I don't know when we're going to move, and we don't know where it's going to be. We've decided because we keep going to different places and we keep falling in love with this and that. And then you guys know me. I'm looking for states that got low tax rates.
I don't know. Tennessee's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Tennessee's actually looking pretty good for that, just simply because of the not only they don't have state tax, but to top that off, their real estate, our fucking property tax is really low. And holy shit, man! I've been living in Ohio my whole life, and years ago it never dawned on me to just look at the fucking property taxes here. They're fucking insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally paying, it's the equivalent of, if you live in Tennessee, you buy $1 million home, you're paying, $5,700 a year. You buy $1 million home in Ohio, you're paying literally $20,700 a year. So you're paying an extra $15,000 a year for property taxes.
Woo!
And when you get to the level where you're trying to think the way that I'm trying to
We's
think,
getting fucked.
You look at $15,000 a year going out with no fucking return, meaning that it just disappears. It just vanishes in thin air.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the way that looks in 30 years, my friends, and when you're talking about 30 years that you could be investing that kind of money,
Yeah.
it's fucking insane, you know?
Yeah, we's getting kind of fucked.
So, yeah, I mean, I was looking like Ohio is right up there with a lot of places in fucking New York. It's higher than California.
Really?
I was looking into it, and it's actually the property tax here
Well,
is higher than California.
we're gonna be getting out of the state, so we won't be getting fucked too much longer.
Yeah, so that's why we wanted to. We actually over the last few weeks we moved into a new building, and this was like a
spur of the moment
thing. Many of you guys know I've been doing 75 hard. I'm on day like 47, 48 maybe, and so I've been heading over to my shop, which is in like this industrial park, and doing my workouts over there because I've got a bench, I've got weights, and then I've also got the ability to do my outdoor workout. What I do is I put on a weighted vest, and I actually walk all the way from my shop to little downtown Centerville here in Ohio, and then walk back, and that's exactly a 45-minute outdoor workout. But during that time, I've been walking up and down the industrial parks, and I've been looking at buildings and things like that. And I just noticed myself just kind of looking around, you know. I knew that our lease was coming up pretty soon for that building, and I also knew the owner was interested in me potentially purchasing the building. And, you know, that was kind of his long-term strategy, was to get rid of the buildings. And that was one of the reasons why I just don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to own a building here in Ohio.
No.
So at the time, it did sound appealing, but, you know, all of our things are changing. And, you know, we having a son that's 19 years old gives us the ability. We don't have young kids. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Thank you, Jesus. 39 years old, don't have any young kids.
We put our dues in early. With that.
Yeah, we put our dues in early. So we're at a point where we're like kind of retired in a way, but working at the same time, but doing everything that we love. You know what I mean? Rather than, you know, working every day for, you know, our fucking 7 kids that we have that are fucking living at home and eating all of our food and shit like that. That we're not doing. So
there's no way in hell I would have had 7 kids.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, you got to think about put yourself in our position, and maybe many of you guys are, but
that's a lot of kids.
you know, of course, I'm 39 and she's 40.
You just had to point that out, didn't you? You just had to point that out.
And so that puts us in prime position to really,
but I look so much better than you, though.
I'm looking pretty good now that I've been doing the 75 hard. I am down to almost my goal weight.
No, you'd be looking good, but I just look a lot younger than you.
Let's take a step back. I want to finish the story here. So I'm walking down the industrial park. I find the building. I find another building.
Turd.
I literally just out of the blue call this number on the front of the building, right, to meet a real estate agent there the next day. Mm-hmm. And it's in front of another building that I used to lease probably about 10 years ago. He comes there, gives me a price. It's fucking good to go. We still got some work we got to do on the building. We're fixing it up. We're still working on fixing up the pod.
Smells funky in there.
Yeah, it smells a little weird in there.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
Man, you know, we scored a really good deal on it, and I believe it's kind of like our exit strategy here.
Yeah.
Meaning that it's got a lot of, it's got a really nice, it's a much better location than we were in previously. It's been much easier for our clients to find.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems in the other location because it was kind of like hidden in a group of buildings that was back in like an industrial park, but off the main road. So this one's on the main road, and the cool thing is it's the very end of the main road. Mm-hmm. So when we give people directions, we're just like, well, take a left on this fucking road, drive down to the end, and it's the last building on the left. So just cool shit happening there, and I don't know what it is. The vibe of the place feels better. It's got like a front, big old front area where we're doing all of our media stuff, and it's got a bunch of windows around the front. I like windows. I like sun. It just feels good. You know, it feels good. It's not as big as a shop area, but it will do.
Yes, it will definitely do.
You know, we just kind of figure like this, like, look, we wanted to keep that much shop in case we got hit with a hailstorm. And we haven't over the last year that we leased the building. Mm-hmm. So we kind of took a step back and looked at it like, hey, man, if we get smashed with a hailstorm, there's tons of fucking shop space around here that we could literally just like a light switch turn on overnight and make it happen.
Make it happen.
Yeah. So I would be honestly more concerned with hailstorm hits around here moving into a front row retail location to write the estimates. Not even to do the repair work out of that location, to literally lease we got several. Actually, that's what's more available than just about anything around here is literally retail space that's out by the, different stores, different restaurants, stuff like that, always coming up available. And I would be more concerned about opening up a location like that just to fucking make it convenient for people to write estimates.
Yeah.
But who knows? That may or that may not happen. I mean, hey, man, if Tennessee gets hit with hail, man, I might be down there next year.
We shall see. We shall see. But then another reason why we weren't doing the podcast was because we got hooked on a show.
That is true. So we traded you guys in for Yellowstone.
We started, I think it was like a whole week, and we were done with season 1 through season 3.
Yeah, that's a crazy show.
Because everybody kept talking about it when we were in Texas, and I was like, well, let's just go ahead and give this thing a try. The first episode, I think, was like a little slow, but then after then, it like sucked you in. Yeah. Next thing you know, John's talking like a cowboy. And
well, it's about protecting the ranch around here.
Here, I have to wait a whole year now to see what happens to John, to see what happens to Beth. Oh, dear God. I hope they take Jamie out. He's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah. So on that front, we also got back from the mastermind out in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Actually out there in the Addison area.
Yeah, and then we spent time with Craig and Lisa, too.
Yeah. We actually stayed over at, many of you guys know Craig Dyer, Anson Dent Tools or Anson PDR Tools, whatever they want to call themselves. It's either Dent Tools or PDR Tools. I don't know. They're real specific about it. Every time I say something, Biggs is always correcting me. So I think it is Anson PDR Tools, right? So anyhow, yeah, we stayed out at Craig's house the very first night that we came in, which was on a Sunday night. And me and Craig went out into his barn back there in the back of the house and worked on the tactical Dentex set. So we got a chance to do that. Got in there. We all went out to dinner. We ended up going down to, which is probably one of the coolest fucking places I've been.
The Stockyards.
Was the Stockyards up in Fort Worth. I had no idea that Fort Worth had such a great culture down there and so many neat places that you could go and visit. It was incredible. Like, I just always imagined Fort Worth being something totally different than what it really was.
Yeah.
I always seen it from a distance when we were down there. We would always, drive past the city. But the city down there is fucking beautiful. I mean, it really is a nice city.
Super clean.
I always envision, like, Dallas being the beautiful city. But the truth of the matter is Fort Worth, in my opinion, is the beautiful city down there.
Yeah.
Incredible. Very, very nice. So we had a great time doing that, went and stayed with Craig, and then the next day we woke up there. I ended up doing 75 hard at his house, which Craig has got a pretty cool property. He bought this house that was on the market for like 10 years. Like, nobody wanted to buy it, but I never seen what the house looked like before they remodeled it. They remodeled it. It's beautiful.
It looked like shit.
Yeah. Apparently the house looked like shit whenever they first bought it.
It looked like
and,
shit.
Well, you know how Craig is. Craig's a smart buyer. I mean, he's been smart with his money for a long time. He's a intelligent buyer. Well, they bought this property out there, and it's on a nice chunk of land that's just right outside of town. And you can actually, I was just lapping like his property that I think may have been like 10 acres or something like that, doing my 75 hard workout. And then by the time I got to the point where I was lifting, I went out behind his shed, and he had a big old ladder back there, and then he had a big pile of rocks. So here I am lifting rocks and using the ladder in the back for my shoulder workouts again.
Yeah.
And then me and her, we ended up heading down to Anson Dent Tools just to find that they literally had 2,000 glue guns arrive. Like, I don't know if you guys have tried Anson's glue guns, but they make like one of the best glue guns out there. It heats up really quickly. And I forget. I think it's called the trifecta glue gun. But literally, pallets with 2,000 fucking glue guns.
Yeah.
And what really dawned on me that I look at our industry from 10 years ago and I look at it now. And you couldn't have convinced me 10 years ago that you could ever sell 2,000 fucking glue guns. And I mean, this is like their 6-month stock, you know? Mm-hmm. But still, 2,000 fucking glue guns.
That's a lot of glue guns.
That's just incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, and they're really good and they're reasonable price too. So we went there and checked out, and I'm telling you guys, man, Anson is blowing up the tactical tools. I can't really tell you how many they sold, but I can tell you that it's been really great to put them in their hands.
Yeah.
And let them take care of the manufacturing and let them take care of, I mean, they have got so many hubbed tools in there that it's insane.
They do.
I mean, I would have to guess that there's probably 2,000 to 3,000 hub tools in there right now, and they're going all in with the tactical, the Gorilla Grip, and it's a phenomenal tool. And I'm not just saying that because I invented it. I'm just saying that it's going to replace a lot of people's tools on their carts. There's just nothing out there like it. You know, there were some other handles that came out here and there, and people were wishy-washy about them. You know, mainly ones that you got to buy a ton of them. The way the tactical dent tool works, you buy one of them. You can buy the T-handle, and you can buy the traditional, and you can just snap them onto all them hubs.
Yep.
I'm going to have to jump on the tactical group here soon. And I'm kind of a hands-off group owner over there. I gave the group over to the people, and I barely comment or barely talk in there. Honestly, I don't really read a whole lot in there either. But when I do, I go through and check in on everything and all that. But I'm going to have to do a shot of my tool cart, because literally my tool cart is almost all hub tools now. I do have some pick tools that are on the tool cart. So I like the different pick tools that Anson sent me. I've got the tequila pick tools that have the cherry tip that go on the end. And then I've got the really sharp pick tools that are made out of that fucking strong-ass black spring steel. And I've also got all the hubbed, I always want to call these the Gray's tools, the tools that got the curve on them, because Don Gray was the first creator of them hand tools that got them long curved shafts on them. And you know, I got the entire set from Anson on that, and that is insane when you put the tactical Gorilla Grip on it, guys. You know, so any of you guys who are looking for hub tools, Anson sells them, and they also sell the hubs that you can weld onto the tools as well. And then John from A1 Tools came out with a video maybe about a month ago where he actually showed kind of their proprietary technique on how they weld them on there. And it was really neat. They put like they end up threading something like a double-faced threading fucking thing in there, right? And they ended up threading it on the end of the tool. And then after that, they weld it on there. And it's pretty neat how they actually put the hubs on. So, but I will tell you, though, one of the best times to contact A1 Tools, if you're looking to hub some of your tools, is during the wintertime. So I do know it takes a little bit longer during their prime season, but during this wintertime, they'll hub your tools. And I think they'll make a deal. They'll make a deal based on like how many tools you send them. So the more tools you send them, the cheaper it'll be. But man, you know, many of you guys who already own the Gorilla Grip, you guys know the fucking power of that tool. You know, you put that shit on a lot of your tools, it makes the repair faster. I don't really know how to explain it any more than that. It makes the repair faster, and it takes all the stress off of your joints and your hands.
Yeah.
Basically, it makes your fucking life easier. Like, that's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. You know? You know, I'll tell you guys, when I first invented that tool, man, I had some of my friends trying to discourage me about coming out with it, and I didn't listen to anything they fucking said.
No.
Like, every word they said, it was just like, I looked at it like, huh, I guess you don't see what I see. And, man, I mean, you know, there's been, I can tell you that it's probably on a couple thousand tool carts.
Yeah.
You know, every time we ever came out with the Gorilla Grip or the T-handles, they've sold out every time. And you guys know my style, man. It's, you know, the problem, here's the problem with manufacturing. Somebody like me who's running like multiple businesses, manufacturing is a whole fucking, logistical nightmare of its own.
Yeah, and it wasn't making you happy. And you were even talking about like never making them things again. So then when, like, did Craig approach you or something? Or you just
Yeah.
told Craig or something that you were
Yeah.
just not wanting to make them, and then he approached you, and then you guys worked out something amazing. Because
Yeah.
this is like, I remember like when John designed this tool, and then when he finally got it was like when we were going through all that shit, and you got that tool, and I mean your eyes like lit up like something fierce. And then when you started messing with it, I mean it was just like,
well, the very first tactical tool that I got, I carried it around with me for a whole weekend.
You brought it home.
So I brought it.
Yes,
I brought it home with me.
I remember that.
And it
everywhere you went.
Everywhere I went, I had it in my hand, and I was snapping it on the end of the tool, and I was playing with it, and I couldn't like leave it there. You know what I mean? Where I couldn't like see it.
Yeah, you're so stoked.
So no. I mean, the design of the tool is great. The feeling of creating something that you really love and that really works well is amazing. But the entire process of manufacturing and shipping and all that shit wasn't something that I liked. So the thing that I loved was the tool and the creation of the tool. But the thing that I don't like is the manufacturing, the shipping, and all that kind of stuff. So. Craig did call me when they heard. It's so funny, like a lot of tool companies, it's like, PDR is like we're in a fucking high school,
Yeah.
And as soon as something like leaks, I mean, it's like everybody knows about it, right?
Yeah.
And that was the big talk at the last Mobile Tech Expo that we're at. I had like, Richard from Dent Gear walking up to me going, "Are you for real not going to make that handle anymore?" And like one person after the next was coming up to me saying shit like that. And it was probably a few weeks after I think the Mobile Tech Expo, or I don't know. It wasn't I can't remember how long it was when me and Craig. It was probably right after the Mobile Tech Expo, because it was before all this COVID shit. And Craig called me up and he hit me up with a deal, and then I came back and countered with another deal, and we went, it was, me and Craig are very friendly. They're the only people that I would trust with this,
Yeah.
And honestly, like one of the main reasons is, number one, I mean, if you just met the Anson, Craig, Dyer and Christina and just their whole crew. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but Chris has worked for his father for over like 20 years or something like that. And I mean, they've got a good culture over there. They're good people. And them are the only type of people that I'll do business with. I mean, if I don't like somebody, I'm not going to do business with them.
Yeah.
And they're great. They're good people. And because I know there's other companies I could have came to and pitched this idea and all this kind of stuff, but it's not about that for me. It's about the people. It's about who I surround myself with. Who I'm going to work with in the future. And the second thing was Craig was very, very excited about this tool.
Yeah, he was.
And
I think he was almost as much excited.
So he's definitely as excited about the tool. As I am. He loves it. And I mean, you can tell. Just go to his facility and look at how many hub tools without no handles are sitting on there at their facility. I mean, like I said, there's thousands upon thousands of tools that are coming out with this design, and it's going to the next level.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see my tool in so many people's hands. And, it's able to help out guys day in and day out. I mean, there's even guys like Steve, I think his name's Steve Quisberry, who literally said, I mean, he was getting, Steve's getting up there in age, and he was having problems with his joints and his elbows and things like that. And he sent me this message and just told me, he's like, "Dude, this is incredible, that I can use these tools now and I can repair these cars, and I don't have the pains or the issues that I had in the past with all these other handles." And then I've got other guys who are like, we're in a new day and age, and we're in a new time where we're not going to accept these little dinky fucking handles anymore. And I still laugh when guys got them little handles with little balls on the end on their cart, you know what I mean? And I just look at it like, man, that guy must have tiny hands. Like, that's the very first thing I think of when I see somebody's cart and they got a bunch of them little machine levers on there.
Oh, shit.
Either he's got tiny hands or he's fixing tiny dents.
Oh, my God.
That's one or the other. You got tiny hands or tiny dents.
Yeah, but you did like a miracle for the PDR industry. That's like a miracle.
Well, I'm not going to call it a miracle, but...
Yeah, it is. Like a little miracle. Look how many guys now, like, love that tool when they don't have hand problems and all this and that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, didn't guys need their hands to be grabbing girls at Hooters?
Oh, my God.
Strip clubs, things like that.
Oh, no. I don't want to go do
You don't want to ruin your hands for some little booby grabbing.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm so done with traveling for a while.
Yeah.
I need to be a hermit at home.
Feels kind of nice being a hermit at home, actually.
It does. It really does.
I mean, especially when you just go from one place to the next.
I know. It's like ever since June, we have been traveling once a month.
Yeah.
And that's something that, like, you know, we normally don't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, travel that often.
I mean, it's definitely fun. We had a lot of fun times.
No,
a lot
but
of different places.
don't you find it kind of funny how like all this COVID shit is going on and we've like traveled during the worst?
You know, that's because the prices are the best. You know, prices are going back up though. Yeah, prices are going back up on everything.
Yeah.
Because we're like buying tickets and we're like motherfucking $400 a piece. You kidding me?
Yeah.
And back when we're used to paying like flying fucking first class for $300 a ticket.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I will tell you, though, when it comes to American Airline, I don't fly first class on that fucking piece of shit.
No.
Sometimes we have to use American Airline simply because they are the only one-stop airline out of Dayton or Cincinnati to go fucking certain places. But the truth is, Delta is a fucking way better airline.
Yes, they are.
And an American Airline first-class ticket is no different than a normal ticket, and simply because now they sit you where you're 2 seats apart, so they give you pretty much 3 seats. And honestly, like their first class is fucking, it's no different. I mean, you go to Delta, a Delta first class ticket, is fucking nice. I mean, you've got TVs, you got this big ass chair, lots of leg space. They treat you nicer, but American Airlines first class is like, okay, so I'm gonna pay double for this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and plus,
really
like
bummed
the
me
flight
out
attendants that are on American Airline, they're
bitches.
horrible
They're
compared to like
not all of them, but most of them are bitchy.
horrible compared to Delta.
Yeah, they come by instead of like Delta's like, we will gently remind you to pull your mask over your nose, and these bitches are like, mask now. Make sure you pull down your mask between bites.
Oh,
you hear fucking California's trying to get people to pull down their mask between bites?
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this.
Well, when Donald Trump wins this election, we're going to be able to shove them masks up their asses.
That's right. You know what we should do? We should burn all them fuckers.
And then
burn them!
People who want to wear them will duct tape them to their fucking face.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, it should be a choice if they want to wear one or not. We shouldn't get mad if somebody wants to wear a mask. Okay?
We should be able to laugh and poke fun at them, though. It's just like giggle at them.
I know. We look like a bunch of fucking idiots with them damn things on our face. Yes. We look like fucking idiots. We really do.
Well, I'm glad they didn't enforce the goggles.
Oh my God. That would have been horrible.
Look like a fucking B-2 bomber fucking fighter pilot. It still cracks me up. Like, we'll go to the airport and we'll see people wearing the mask and the face shield.
Yeah.
Where in the fuck as a country did we get so fucking beta male fucking neutered where everybody's scared of a fucking virus?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Americans shouldn't be scared of a fucking virus.
Well, I would think most of us are not scared of it anymore. I would say.
I never was scared of that shit.
No,
I was going around licking doorknobs trying to get it.
Yeah, no, you weren't doing that.
I was going to be like our President Donald Trump. Show motherfuckers how quickly I beat it.
Yes.
Shit, I know a guy, there's a guy, Tony, in our mastermind group.
Yeah.
That got fucking, how do you pronounce Tony's last name again?
I don't know.
He's got a tough one, so. But.
He's got
So he's literally like, he's got a story that's like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street, literally.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to launch a podcast here pretty soon called The Insider Show,
Ooh.
where he's literally relinquishing his investment license to talk about what goes on in the shadows of this investment world.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
He,
It'll be juicy.
He literally worked.
Juicy.
He actually worked in the Twin Towers, and he quit his job 10 days before they got struck.
That's crazy.
And
that's like God showing you a sign.
Yeah. So, but to top that off, Tony ended up, he's probably, 50 years old?
I guess.
I'd say probably around 50 years old. Well, he got COVID. And he got it actually from another dude who was at one of our mastermind meetings. And they were the only two that got it.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of doing 75 hard.
Yeah.
And he ended up finishing the shit while he had COVID. Mm-hmm. Now, he said he was tired. He said he was worn down. He said he spent a lot of time sleeping. He said one time he went on one of his walks and he did all of his workouts outdoors. He said one time he went on one of his walks and ended up in some random neighborhood and was lucky to find his way home.
Jesus, take the wheel.
But he finished 75 hard. He actually, if many of you guys haven't checked it out yet, I have the Marketing Savage Facebook group that's fucking blowing up. I mean, I think we just added 70 members in the last week.
Damn.
The group is blowing up, and he got the Marketing Savage Weekly Monday Savage award a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Just simply because he had COVID-19 and fucking beat that shit.
I know, that's crazy. That is crazy.
While doing 75 hard and never stopped.
Yeah.
So right there's everybody's excuses who goes through 75 hard. And I want to say there was one guy who had an excuse, and I'm not going to make fun of him or anything like that. I can't even remember his name. But he said something like he had to quit 75 hard because his truck was in the shop.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And then I'd introduce him to Tony and be like, you feel like a bitch now, don't you?
He would probably say, yes, I do. Yes. Yes.
I don't know why I get stuffed up every time we do a podcast.
I don't know why.
Am I like allergic to you guys out there?
No.
Huh?
Oh, no. Why don't you say something inspirational?
Nah, I'm not in an inspirational mood today.
Why not?
I'm just not. I'm not. I'm honestly not. Good. Like literally all day today, I have not been in an inspirational mood. And that's total proof that, like, regardless, I mean, you can seek to inspire, you can seek to learn, but there's going to be days you're just not going to feel fucking inspirational. You're going to want to say, fuck everybody. You're going to want to look at the whole world and just tell each and every person one at a time to go fuck themselves. Like, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself. And that's my inspiration for you today.
You need a freedom break. That's what you need.
But everybody has that shit, right?
That's true. It's being human. And sometimes I forget.
Sometimes I just feel like I want to fucking rip something apart with my teeth.
I feel that way too. Sometimes, but not with my teeth.
Like I want to attack like a fucking animal. And just rip it apart with my teeth.
No, you are not doing that.
No, like a gazelle or something.
That's a very pretty animal.
Like a lion. I just want to do the trip and bite technique on something.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's important as a man to occasionally seek a little bit of blood.
Oh. I wonder if you taste it and then you don't like it.
I think some men, they get rid of this feeling they have inside by like watching football or, watching some sort of sport or something like that.
They want to go and bite somebody?
I want to express this feeling, this animal feeling in the world of business.
Okay, but I don't think you need to hunt an animal down and bite it. I wonder if the animal bit you back. Think about that. You were on your quest or something. You found some animal and you took off running and you caught the thing. And then you went and you tried to bit it and you turned around and it ended up biting you.
I'm going to fucking spear it first.
I could so see that happening. But then I could see you getting like really pissed off and you end up getting crazy eyes and then yeah.
So I'm going to leave this inspirational podcast with that.
You want to bite an animal.
All right, everybody. See you on the next one.